so today we have a complete power station from ALLPOWERS. So this is their R600. It's a lithium iron phosphate battery. It has 299 watt hours. It's a 25.6 volt, 11.68 amp hours. So it's basically a 24 volt system. It weighs in at 12.8 pounds. Dimensions 11.2 inches, 7.6 inches by 7.5 inches. Has a AC input, 400 watts, a 12 to 60 volt solar input, 300 watts. That's pretty good. On the output side, we've got AC output, 600 watt max. It has a 1200 watt surge. So it has a 600 watt inverter. USB-A output, has USB-C, 200 watts max. Wow. Has a cigarette lighter port for 120 watt max, and it has a wireless phone charger at 15 watts. Awesome. Let's open this thing up. So right off the bat, we've got a little package here, warranty card. I'm guessing the manual's probably in here. And we have, okay, a little bag that contains what feels like the cables. All right, so we got our AC charging cable. And then we got our solar cable. So we got our MC4 connectors into a XT60. All right, and here's the unit. As you can see, we've got the screen. We've got the AC receptacles, 2 of them. USB-C at 100 watt. I bet that'll power my laptop. And USB-A's. It's got a flashlight and 2 12-volt barrel jacks, and then 1 cigarette lighter port. On the top is the wireless phone charger. On this side, we've got the AC charger input, the solar input, and a resettable circuit breaker, and just some ventilation on this side. Let's see, let's try to turn this guy on. All right, we're on, showing at 40%, showing 46% charged. Looks like there's some buttons here. I think what this does is probably turn the inverter output on, so the inverter's not just running all the time if you have the unit on. And then this appears like it turns on this USB side. So let's see. Yeah, I can hear the inverter turn on, and it's showing 60 hertz here. Okay. And then the USBs are on. Flashlight. All right. So far, so good. Let's see if we can power some AC appliances. Okay, what do you guys think? Am I crazy? Skill saw versus a 600 watt inverter. It says it has a 1200 watt surge. Well, let's try it. Let's turn the inverter on. Here we go. No. It won't do a skill saw. So the surge is probably too high. Well, at least that's a good test that it won't self-destruct if you try to use something that overloads it. So let's try this fan. At least it has a low, medium, high, so we can start it off slow. Okay, that starts up. So it shows that we're pulling 122 watts. Let's try to ramp that up. Medium. 150. 185. Let's try to go directly to high. Yeah, that's fine. Looks like it pulled over 200 watts when it was trying to start up. Okay, I've got a 525 watt heat gun. Let's try this. So it's pulling 446 watts. Should we turn on the fan now? Okay, the fan started on low. So now we're pulling 560 watts. Okay, now we're pulling over 600 watts. Well, it went back down to 594. So right now I hear a fan in the unit on. The fan's slightly loud, but it's definitely not the loudest I've heard. It's not terrible. Okay, let's take a look at the app. So there's the app on the Google Play Store. Install. It's showing AP R600 version 2. There we are. Shows our remaining time, remaining percentage. Shows the AC outputs on. I guess we can turn it off. Oh, look at that. You can remotely turn the AC output off. That's pretty neat. Let's try that again. Let's turn it on. Ah, nice. It shows we're using 446 watts. Cool. All right, seems like the unit decided to turn itself off while we were running this heat gun. I'm not sure why. I just turned it back on. Is it because it's got a lower battery? Maybe that's low battery or something. And one of the things that I'm not excited about on the app is it wants me to log in. It'll start up and put you on the information page here, and you do have control. Oh, is that the flashlight? Yeah. Oh, you can turn the light on from there too. That's neat. But if you, maybe that's what this is. Now, if you try to go to this other menu, it wants you to log in. I'm not incredibly fond of doing stuff like that. I guess I'll go ahead and do it. Okay, so now I can get to this other menu now that I've logged in. So it has a mute mode, a standard mode, a fast mode under work mode. I'm not sure what that does. Eco mode shutdown time 1 hour or up to 6 hours. It's got an extreme power mode. I'm not sure what that does, but that's pretty much it. All right, so I guess since it considers it pretty much discharged, or 10%, let's charge it up from the AC and see how long it takes. And I looked at the manual, and this work mode is the charging mode, basically. So we've got mute, I guess that's quiet, standard mode, and fast mode. I have it set to fast mode right now. So we're going to charge it up, and apparently it's supposed to be able to do 400 watts. So we'll time it. So we'll run a stopwatch here. So let's go ahead and plug it in. And okay, it's doing 400 watts. Okay, so let's start this, and we'll see how long it takes to fully charge. All right, so it's been 22 and a half minutes. Let's see where we're at. Oh, look at it, 56%. Oh, we're actually pulling almost 430 watts. Well, 430 watts. So this thing charges up quite quickly. I'm guessing roughly another 20 minutes and it's fully charged. Okay, as we were coming up on 90% here, the unit started beeping and the power lowered down to like 200 watts, and now it's 118 watts. And then I get this E701 code. And looking at that in the manual, I see E711, E712, E704, E706, E705, E703, but there's no E701. So I don't know what that means. Is that normal? I don't know if that means that it's nearing full charge and then it's going to lower the power or something, but Yeah, it doesn't show what that code is. But we're at 91% at 44 minutes and 37 seconds. So it's been going for an hour. We're at 97%. We're doing 65 watts. So it's gradually decreasing the power as it gets close to being fully charged. It's saying 6 minutes here, so I'm assuming that's 6 minutes left before it's fully charged. So I guess we should see 1 hour and 6 minutes, something around there. Maybe 1 hour and 7 minutes when this completes. So I'll let it continue on and then we'll come back in. All right, we're at 99%. It says it has 2 minutes left. We are at 1 hour and 7 minutes roughly. There we are, 1 hour and 7 minutes. And there we go. 100%. It took 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 32 seconds. So yeah, it charges really fast, and then up until 10% left, and then it slows down. So like the last 10% takes, 25 to 30 minutes to complete. All right. So, since it was fully charged, I'm trying to burn some power out, and then we're going to hook it up to some solar and see how the solar charging performs. All right, we're at 53%, so we'll go ahead and call that good and turn off the inverter output, and then we'll hook up the solar. All right, solar's plugged in. We're seeing 92 watts, 100 watts. All right, it's increasing. Oh, over 200 watts now. $275, $290, oh, $301, $313. All right, $315. So we're actually over what it says, what it specs. Specs 300, but we're exceeding it. My dog is going crazy over there. You hear him? He's fighting with a stick. Look at him. Oh no, he's fighting with a brick. That's enough. Yeah, so 314 watts. Pretty impressive. So are we able to use the AC outputs while we're solar charging? Wow, we've got 323 coming in on the solar input. Shows that we got 321 on the solar input and 447 going out through AC. Yeah, so I think what I want to do now is plug in some things to the USB outputs. All right, now we're gonna try to power my laptop off of the USB ports over here. All right, so the laptop was actually fully discharged. Power station, we're outputting 46 watts. Yeah, so it's powering my laptop with 0 problems. Very nice. And while it's charging my laptop, let's try to plug in my phone to one of the other USB ports, the USB-A ports instead of the C. Yep, no problem there. Oh, it's actually showing turbo power, so it's a fast charger even on the USB-A ports. We're already at 6% on the laptop. It was just a few minutes ago at 1%. So it's charging relatively fast. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a phone that supports this wireless charging, so I can't really test that. But other than that, I'm really actually quite impressed with the unit. If the capacity and the power output suits your loads, then I think it's actually a pretty good unit, especially for the price of coming in around $299. That's not bad. I was actually impressed with the solar input going over the 300 watt limit, so we got 320 watts. But I think that's going to be the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.